right. So, given the nature of reality and us being very subjective to responding to reality, so how then should we respect other people's opinion? Because at times we'll have perception of negative opinions from people. So, how then should we respect people's opinion in terms of nature of reality?
Well, if you remember the fact that the other person that is speaking to you is actually speaking from their own map of reality, then it's easier to disconnect yourself from what they're saying, and not be ruled by it. Because that person may be going through difficulties, or they may have issues that you don't know about. So you give them their space and let them enjoy their own reality, but don't let that affect you. Now, the difficulty most people have is when someone else comes out saying negative things about them or to them. They feel as if it's a serious attack, and they want to react in a very negative way in order to prove that they are who they are. No, you can't say that to me. But if you are quiet for a minute and you think, why is this person talking like this? Just that moment of quiet is enough for you to realize that they may have other issues. So it's not really directed at me. This person is talking from his or her own map of reality. It has nothing to do with me as an individual, in which case I don't need to react violently or angrily. I would just say, well, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, and then walk away. And that makes things a lot easier because that person can rethink whatever has happened in the past, I mean, with you, and then come back and say, sorry, maybe I didn't actually mean that. So you give the person some space to think or rethink their attitude towards you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So, I'm just going to go into a particular perspective right now. I've heard a saying in the past. It says, your attitude determines your altitude. Your way of thinking determines how far you go in life. How is this really true when you consider it from the perspective of neuro-linguistic programming?
Um, well, we're looking at flexibility here. If you begin to be fixated on a certain thought or attitude, then you would judge everything by that attitude. And that could be very negative for you. It means maybe you've had a failure once, and oh, well, then you say to yourself, I always fail. But that's not true because you can't always fail at everything. Now, there is always something that you're good at, and that is what NLP teaches you to try and harness. Look at what you're good at, what is your best quality, and bring that to the fore so that that helps you in making progress in life. Otherwise, if you believe that everything is as it is, static, nothing moves, well, I had a bad relationship before, therefore this one is going to be bad. That is not a good way to think. So it's important to be flexible, and flexibility helps you to move on. It helps you to let go of things that have not worked in the past and to look forward to something in the future which could be much better for you.
Thank you. So, in terms of flexibility, should we always move on every time, or should we hang on and try to work things out when things are not working well? So, if, for example, if I fail in my endeavors, should I dump that particular thing and move on to the next phase or next idea to see if it will work? So, how should we really respond to flexibility?
Well, flexibility actually means also using your brain. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't think because you're being flexible. You have to look at all the options there are. And that, I mean, having options is part of being flexible as well. So if you look at the options that there are for you, that you see what you can actually use,